This is Mark Whitten.
This is Adam MacArthur.
This is Ann Yatko.
Hey everybody, this is Michael Yurchak.
This is Erica Harlicker.
This is Daquan Wilshire.
This is Rico Fajardo, and you're watching.
And you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast. Set your heart ablaze.
All right, so this is another episode of Spoiler Force Podcast, episode 134. I'm with my cousin Bobby again, who's been on the show multiple times. We are here talking about the Dallas Fan Festival experience that we had last weekend, which was the 14th weekend, the 14th to 15th. We got press passes thanks to the Dallas Fan Expo group. Shout out to Dana and the press team for allowing us to get press passes and to have this experience and talk about the event. Dallas Fan Festival took place in Irving, Texas at the Irving's Convention Center, which was where Akon was at, which was, I liked that. I thought it was great because when we went, it wasn't, even for Saturday, for like usually that's the big day, like it wasn't as packed. So before I continue on though, I do want to let the listeners and followers know what I've been doing for the past almost 2 months now. If you do follow the podcast, I just dropped the Singles Inferno episode, which was a totally different type of topic or genre I'd usually talk about, but because I watched that show in one go, I just had to talk about it. So hopefully you guys like something that's different, but then I'll be back until I talk more about like the pop culture nerdy stuff again. I had to take the hiatus because I was just very burnt out from DreamCon, especially. Like it's ironic because I went to DreamCon to be like fired up after meeting like RDC World, seeing Daquan again, meeting King Vader, Caleb City, and a bunch of other top tier content creators. And after that whole experience, I was just so worn out. Like I think I probably I did more than what I thought I should have, and so I haven't had any and also I've been like trying to get more guests on the show too, and I think that's been kind of like burning me out, just trying to find who to speak to, trying to email people, trying to see who wants to be on the show, and even with the roundtable discussions, like just trying to find people who are willing to talk about the topic that's on each episode that's doing that we do the review on. But that's pretty much what I've been doing. I'm doing better now. So I'm gonna try to push out a little bit more episodes for the next couple weeks, and then try to see if I can get some guests on again, or if not, then just keep doing reviews. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Again, shout out to Bobby and Lynn for being a part of the Spoiler Force squad. We've been, going through these conventions since the summer and just getting press passes and experiencing all these conventions. So, for Dallas Fan Festival, Bobby, what was your thoughts on it? We went like for a little bit on Friday, and then just to like look at the vendors, and then Saturday when we went for pretty much all day. What was your thoughts on that?
I mean, it was great. I mean, it wasn't as crowded as like Akon was, which is a good thing. Because Akon was just ridiculously crowded, especially since all the guests were on Saturday. So the fact that I thought it was a great turnout for what it was for the guests and the size of the convention itself. It was a great turnout. I think my favorite. I'm very biased on this too, but my favorite booth of the whole thing was probably the dog handkerchief stuff, because I geeked out on that.
Yeah, shout out to what's her name? I think the shop's called Kiki Japan. I just sent her an email too, the owner of the shop. So hopefully I can have her on the podcast too. But yeah, that was a really cool vendor. And she was selling like she was selling scarves, and she was selling
bow ties and
dog accessories and stuff like that. That was really cool.
It was very cool. Like I said, me and Lynn picked up the whole Demon Slayer core, or the main characters itself core, handkerchiefs. Put them on them. I love it on them. I haven't taken it off. Like I take it off just for them to go to sleep, but earlier today I put it on them when I went to go walk them, and they look so cool. Other than that, let me think. What other vendor? I don't know. That one was the one that I geeked out over, just because I'm a dog person. So let me think. Where else did we spend?
We
I
got
can't remember.
some. We got Prince, like
The
the one you
Prince,
got
and then
like the
the
Smash Brothers, the homemade
yeah,
one.
the Japanese one. The giblets
Yeah.
were already the croc giblet thingies were pretty cool too. I wish I would have picked up more there, but I just kind of quickly glanced at it, grabbed what I wanted, and grabbed and go.
Oh no, you got the art from that guy that was like drawing on the table, like he was
Oh
drawing the little
yeah,
$5
he was
square ones.
yeah, he had his own little booth and he was freehanding those pictures too. I forgot. Oh man, I feel so unprepared. I should have brought some of the cards that I had here too and just give a shout out to them. But yeah, a lot of the artists themselves were out there that were really good. I can't remember off the top of my head the guy's name, but he has his own comic about a Viking kid going through an adventure and everything like that. And I liked it because the artwork itself was really good. Um, and he explained the storyline to us and everything too, so it was pretty cool.
His artwork reminded me a lot of like Calvin and Hobbes. The comic
Exactly, yeah,
strips.
same.
Yeah. So like that's why I thought it really stuck out. I wanted to buy his SpongeBob one, but I was just like I spent so much. Even though it's like $5, I spent so much money because the booth that was next to him was Ariel Diaz. That's the one where
Yeah,
I bought the Naruto, Deku, and Harley Quinn prints too. And like that art style, I'm a sucker for. Like anything that's like black and white with colors on it. Like I love it. So
yeah.
I always try to avoid it, but I end up buying stuff, and I spent like $70 just like
Man,
within like the span of just getting there.
no, I don't blame you, man. Like same with me. Like we got there, and me and Lynn told ourselves we're like we can't buy any prints. We're out of wall space. Like we literally had no other place to put them, and we haven't framed a bunch of them too. And so, surely enough, you just love the artists' work that are there, and you got to show support whenever you see something you like. So yeah, we picked up a bunch of prints too. We'll figure out the wall space. I mean, we'll trickle it into the restrooms or something. But
Dude,
yeah, for sure.
you and Lynn picked up the movie posters.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she actually put
yeah,
the Spider-Man one up at her work, and one of her
yeah.
coworkers said that, "Oh, that's a cool poster," and then was all like, "It's the Spider-Man, it's the Japanese Spider-Man." She goes, "It is," with him in the corner just doing the little thing. So it's pretty cool. Because I mean, she picked up the DBZ one, and then she was all like, "Oh, I need to put one up that's work appropriate." I was all like, Dragon Ball Z is work appropriate. It's not. I mean, they're just flying in the sky. You know what I mean? Like the Spider-Man one is more work appropriate, but I guess I mean I was like the DBZ one works fine too. So, but no. Let me see what else. What other vendors were there? I mean, there was a small shop in Arlington that I wanted to go check out. I think it's called Arlington Retro.
Oh
They
yeah, we
have
saw them before we left.
yeah,
Yeah.
we saw them right as we were getting out or walking out of the dealer rooms. But I just wanted to go. I've always wanted to go check out their shop in Arlington, but I hardly come down there anymore. So it's just hard to find a weekend or time to just go over there and check out their shop. But it was cool to see the stuff that they had there too. Um, I mean,
Did you
what
ever
about
get
you?
did you get the Monado figure at all? Did you go back and get it?
Ah, no, see, that's what I forgot. I feel like because after what was it? After the photo op, because I told myself I was gonna go get after the photo op. If it's still there, that means that it's meant for me to have it. But we were so tired after the photo op, just standing around. I mean, that
Yeah.
whole day, we were so like exhausted, and so we are just like, okay, photo's done. Massiv's cool. Grab the photo, grab the second photo. And as we're just walking out, I'm like, I literally remember walking down as we're going down the escalators. If they didn't have the part blocked off where they force you to go around the
Oh
escalators,
yeah.
I would have probably just went straight in because it was right there. His dealer booth was right there in the entrance.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
would
Right
have
at the
just gone in
corner.
there, yeah, check it out real quick. And if it was there, buy it, and not, then it's cool. But that little line, that little ribbon stopped me, and I was like, it's too far. And then we're already walking towards the car, so I was like, I would just go to the car. The other thing I did enjoy that I really liked that Fan Expo did was the dog adoption thingy over there that they
Oh yeah,
had.
at the right next to the entry, or at
The
least the doors that
entry,
they had open, there was
yeah.
a corner where they had a tent up for dogs, like free adoptions for dogs, and it was like a bunch
Yeah.
of big dogs too.
Oh
There was
yeah,
like
they're so
a pit
adorable.
bull. There was one that looked like Emma there.
Emma, yeah, yeah, they was really cool. Felt kind of bad because it felt hot out there, but they had a bowl of water and everything. So I mean, praying
Yeah.
hopefully all the dogs got adopted or some of
Oh
them
yeah,
got
that's what
adopted.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping that those dogs got adopted. I'm like, for folks who don't know, I'm a dog person too. I have a dog. I have my dog's with my mom, but then like like seeing big dogs like that, like because really usually big dogs don't get picked up for adoption. It's always like
For
the
sure.
small ones.
Yeah.
So like when I see the big ones, like I felt so bad for that little pit bull, or not little, but the baby pit bull there. And like
Yeah.
you could tell he wanted to like get out and play, but then he was just in that kennel the whole time. I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if we didn't have to do anything there, I probably would have just sat out there and hung out with them the whole time until they got adopted or something, help them, promote them, and everything. But no, they were pretty cool. One of them had the wings. They had one of the dogs dressed up.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, for the Halloween thing.
For a Halloween thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, what other booths were there? I mean, it was cool that we saw the Star Wars thingy again, all the R2D2s and whatnot booths. They were out there again.
Oh, there was that Lego one. They had
The
like
Lego one was pretty cool with the
helmets and then
Shinron. Yeah, that
that
was
they had
real
the Dragon
cool.
Ball ones.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of wish I got the names of these booths. We just like saw it,
Same.
like, oh yeah, look
We
at that, just like
we got there early. We got to check it out before everyone, which was cool. But then, like, we got there at a time right when they were about to open, so we were kind of rushing through. Like, okay, we want to check out. We already checked everything Friday, but we were like, okay, we want to get through everything on Saturday before the
see
crowd
which
gets
vendors
there.
we want to buy from, and
Exactly.
because that same day we were, or at least on Saturday, the reason why we were choosing to like just I guess window shop first because we had to figure out where the autographs were at, where the photo ops were at, figure out what like each floor to see what had what, and like with Akon, it was just so packed. So like even because when we went to Akon this year, the dealers were in the same space as the guests, and so when we went to the second floor, it was mostly just like the smaller panels and the photo ops, and then the third floor was the main panel room, and then where they had like the guest set, which was different because I think we talked about this too when we went to Akon. Like, why didn't they put the guests upstairs versus like having the dealers downstairs?
Yeah.
And it worked out, which I thought it was good. But I guess for a fan festival, it was like a smaller event compared to Fan Expo. So like the guys that they had, they were all able to fit in that room next to the main panel room.
Yeah, I mean, the way that the fan festival had it set up was completely better than Akon because they had the guests in Akon. They had the guests still in the dealer room in the back, and then when everybody would line up, they had to have extra people there to kind of guide them and protect them, make sure they're not in the way of other booths. But fan festival, they just completely eliminated all that. Say, hey, if you want to meet everybody, they're upstairs. Just take the escalator. It was on the third floor that the photo ops and some of the guests were in. And the fourth floor, the fourth. The second floor is the second floor is the cafeteria room. Yeah,
that's right.
So I was the same way too. I was like, second floor is the cafeteria. Lynn got coffee. We stopped there for a bit too.
Oh yeah, because we walked outside to the deck.
Yeah, the deck. Yeah. So, but no, yeah. I mean, their setup. I honestly think it was perfect. Kept the guests away. So if you were just there for the guests, you can go and see the guests. But if you were there for the dealer, you can go check out the dealer room. And then on the fourth floor was the big panel room, and it was a great size. Like it was able to fit everybody for the Matt Smith, which was basically the main attraction there.
Yeah,
it was so packed. So
compared to the other panels that we saw that day, Matt Smith's was packed. We went like almost an hour early.
Yeah.
And we were still like in the not too far back, but we weren't in the main line. We had to be in
they moved us to the second.
Yeah. But, so we had to wait a while for Matt Smith. And honestly, like again, shout out to Fan Festival for bringing Matt Smith because they were updating like constantly, like when he was there, when he landed.
Everybody was stalking him, man. Like, oh, he's here in Dallas. He's on the airplane. He's in the hotel.
Yeah, it was even like low key. I was doing that too. That's why I was sharing it on my Instagram story because like I was like, man, I hope he doesn't flake out because like I don't think he does flake up. Because he's such a high end actor.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everything that he's done, so you can see the fans showing up. They were all House of Dragons, Doctor Who, everything. Like even freaking what was the Morbius one?
Morbius.
Exactly. So I mean, he touches all genres, and then like even like during his panel. Oh, we'll get to the panel. I don't get too much into that, but during his panel, you see a different side of him that I guess you could say you fall in love with more because he's so humble and he's such a nice guy and everything. So
yeah, I think that's what made me appreciate his work more. I'm not a big Matt Smith fan. I honestly, once they announced them coming to Fan Festival, I geeked out because we've been watching House of Dragons at your
Yeah.
place. So like I was like, man, do I really want to meet Daemon Targaryen? But like the opportunities like this don't come often. So like I'd rather meet him now and versus like wait and he don't show up or something, or like
Yeah,
God forbid something happens.
even you were like, oh man, is he gonna show up? Like, oh man, I want to go, but man, is he even gonna show up? He always flakes out. I was like, dude, this is go. I mean, if he doesn't show, at least there's other things to do. But and then when you're like, he's confirmed, he's for sure, and everything, we're gonna go. It's gonna be awesome. I was like, dude, hey, you never know, man. It's always a dice roll. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, and nothing to like, not to like put down the other actors that were there. I've already met like Stephen
Stephen
Amell like 3
Amell.
times already, and like the other like the guy from Stranger Things, like man, like I think he's more caters to the younger crowd. And then there was like Colton Haynes and Katie Cassidy
Yeah.
were like my second ones that if Matt Smith didn't show up, I was gonna spend that money to go meet them. But thank God he came because the photo op covered me, you, and Lynn. And if you see it, like right here, this picture in the far back, this is our photo op right here. So we took one with Matt Smith, and we'll talk about like that experience in a bit too. But yeah, but about his panel, man, like I loved how organized it was. It wasn't so. I thought it'd be like way more clustered, like packed. We were lucky enough to sit at an angle where we can still see him on stage, but we weren't too far back. And they gave us enough like leg room to sitting next to people, so we weren't like scrunched up. But what was your thoughts on the panel? Just hearing his thoughts from like from doing like Morbius to House of Doctor Who to House of the Dragons. What was your thoughts on that?
Well, the cool thing about even though we did show up early, the thing that was cool that they kept us engaged was the trivia thing, and that was very cool. I wish I did play, but I had no connection there, so that I just wouldn't have won. And then some of the questions that they asked, whoever won that thing, I don't even know how he won it because he had a pretty high score, but that was pretty cool that they kept the trivia. They kept because we did show up early, so we did wait for a good maybe 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes before he showed up. But when he first got on, it was very cool just hearing him, like the questions that people ask. Like usually these questions can be very, I guess you could say, cringy, but the questions that were asked were like great questions. Like he answered them. Like the one that stuck out to me the most was one of them asked like, hey, I noticed that you play a bunch of bad characters, like the bad guy. Why is it that you like playing the bad guy? And he was just all like, he loves to bring out the portrayal of those people like in his own way. Like they have their own struggles and they have their own things, and he loves being able to show different sides of those characters. I think that showed me personally. I was like, oh man, I never thought about that. Usually when people see these characters, they're like, okay, I just got to be the bad guy and do whatever it is. But the fact that he actually goes into depth, like reads into the character and like sees their struggle and just tries to show, I guess, the good side of it, even though most of the time they're bad guys, but he has every bad person has somewhat of a good side.
Probably that was a great answer that he brought up too, because usually for villains, like I mean, Daemon Targaryen is a good example, right? Because a lot of folks hate him for what he's done throughout season 1, but then at the same time he's such a fan favorite because he's so mysterious. Like we don't know what's his end game. We're just like, all right, so Matt Smith's kind of like brushed up on a little bit where he was saying like, there's something about Daemon where he still respects Viserys, but he's still cunning, and he's still like he's like a fox, and he's still waiting for his move. So
what was he? What did he say? Like it's a very straight or a line that he walks. It's a very thin line that he walks, and either way he goes, it could just go wrong. Or you know what I mean? It's like, that's what he loves about him.
Exactly, but it was like something like chaotic or something like that.
Yeah. Like the struggle that he has on him and too, and then on top of that, like one of Lynn's friends actually, because she geeked out when we met him, and she's like, and then Lynn was like, "Oh, you know him?" And she goes, "Yeah, I've been watching House of Dragons," and she was all like, "Oh." And she's like, oh, he's so like mysteriously hot, like because of his struggles and just how he is. I'm all like, really? Like, I mean, the character himself is kind of strange. And when he called him a bastard, he actually called him straight up a bastard. Like, he's just a bastard, So
Yeah, hearing Matt Smith's thoughts on the characters was nice because like some of the folks. One question that I thought was nice was when I think one of the like a younger girl asked like what was his thoughts on working with the younger Millie or the younger Rhaenyra by Millie and then the older one by Emma Darcy. um and I like that he gave a very straight up honest answer, like where because there is a divide between those actors, like people like Millie's portrayal of Rhaenyra because of I'm just to be honest, like because of the scene between her and Matt Smith when they were in the brothel in Game of Thrones. A lot of fans geek out about that, but they also like that she was very like I guess assertive versus how Emma Darcy's portrayal in as the adult Rhaenyra is very held back, a little bit more tactical. She's not as aggressive as she was, but we'll see what happens in the finale. But but Emma Darcy's portrayal was a lot different from Millie's, and so what Matt Smith said, like that I liked, was he said that they both brought up different types of, I guess, energies or acting energy for him because he has to vibe off of both characters, but they're both playing the same character.
Yeah.
He has to work off of them so that he has to, it kind of shows a characteristic change of Damon too, like where he's not dealing with the kid no more, he's dealing with the woman.
Yeah.
And now he's married to her, which is fucked up because it's his niece.
Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong too. I mean, maybe I'm just maybe my memory is foggy or something. He did say like it wasn't up to him. He went off of them, like because they're two different people, and so it wasn't him, or he wasn't looking for them to adapt to his acting stuff. He adapted to the two of them because he had to stay the same character, but he changed towards how they acted, and that was completely mind blowing. Like you're just kind of like respecting that actor side of it. Like, dude, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm gonna stay the same character, but you guys are the ones that have to change. So let me adapt to you guys because how you guys act, I would react to. So I think that was very cool how he said that too. So.
Yeah, and just to add on to that too, like he was very I guess vocal about like reading for young actors, like keep reading, keep practicing, or like do everything. Yeah,
do
plays,
everything.
movies, shows.
Yeah, that was a good question someone asked. Was like, oh, what was it like? Do you do plays or do you like doing movies more or something like that? And he goes, honestly, I like that plays as a practice. Like you get to work through so many different things and you get to work on your craft. And when you go to the movies, you perfect it. You do it there because they get annoyed if you mess up and you keep retaking. So you work on your craft on the live stuff because you can't, if you mess up on your live during plays and whatnot, yeah, everybody's gonna see it. But I mean, you just got to keep going. Movies, they'll say cut, let's do it again, cut, let's do it again. You know what I mean? So what was the other thing that he said, that he was eating something and he just kept having to throw it up or something? Or spit bucket?
Oh, it was from a different show. I know. I think it was either Doctor Who or something. I wasn't paying attention to what show he was, but it was like constant redoing, replaying the same scene, and he was physically still eating and then spitting out the food that he was.
Somebody was catching it.
Yeah, someone had a bucket that was catching the food that he was spitting out. I was like, "Yo, that's just gross."
Yeah, that's pretty nasty. But like that's what I'm saying. Like he goes into that. Like, hey, I mean, I'm really gonna eat these fish fingers or chicken fingers, whatever it was, and I'm gonna every take I'm gonna have to spit it out because obviously, who would want to keep eating it over? I mean, I probably would, but I don't know.
I don't know. I think his character had to like eat it, and because I guess his character spat it out in the script.
Okay.
So he physically has to eat it, put it in his mouth, and spit it out. But like, imagine like keep tasting the same texture, the same
over and
flavor,
over,
and then you have to physically still spit it out. It's just that's a bit excessive, but it's what he does, man, and he's good at it, which I applaud Matt Smith for that because he like you said, like he the way how he spoke at the panel, like it really, I guess for newer fans like us of Matt Smith, like it really showed us like the more actor side of him versus like him portraying characters in whatever shows he's in. But I think
all of the panel was amazing. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that I kind of wish we didn't cut out early to go to the next one or wait in line for the next one because I kind of wanted to see it. I mean, we could have waited, but I mean, I
didn't realize how well the thing was. Because it was Stephen Amell that was next.
Yeah,
I figured it was gonna be a packed one.
It wasn't that packed.
It wasn't that packed. So
no offense to like Stephen Amell, but
but at least we got to hear him speak Valerian. High
Oh yeah,
Valerian.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. He's trying to figure it out right when we were walking out.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool to hear that. But yeah, he was just very like he's very I guess somewhat stoic when he speaks. He's he kind of like he's very like stoic. But then he's got like this very sarcastic humor.
He
Like
does.
that one girl was like, my mom made you this, and he's like, oh yeah, thank you, and to your mom who made me this that I touched. Like he was
Yeah, yeah.
he played on with the jokes. I thought that was really cool of him to do that. He wasn't like he wasn't pretending to be like, oh yeah, I know who that is, but he just like,
Yeah, he was
okay.
just like, "Oh, I remember so and so made this, so I touched it," or something like that. I remember. Yeah, that's pretty funny too. Yeah, I mean, even at that, like his fan interaction, he wasn't like, "Oh, next question." You know what I mean? He interacted. He asked. They asked. That
Yeah.
he dove deep, or he either joked about it and then dove deep into it. So he actually kept the fan interaction really good. So like that's what I'm saying. Like he's a really cool dude. Even during our photo op. I mean, we'll get to the photo ops too, but even during the photo ops, like I felt bad because like he was trying to interact with other people, but they're just like next, next, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So which I understand, but like he was trying to make the most of that interaction, like that what is not even 30 seconds, like 20 seconds of talking to him and meeting him. And the cool thing about that too is they didn't have the plexiglass, so
Yeah. Yeah. We will talk about that in a bit.
we will get
because
there. We will get
because
there.
that I think that's what made the photo op was because of
Yeah.
that. But we went to Stephen Amell's photo, not photo, Stephen Amell's
Booth, panel,
panels
yeah, yeah.
next. Um, for folks who don't know, Stephen Amell is the Green Arrow. He was also Casey Jones in TMNT, the Michael Bay one. He's
The
also
wrestler.
a wrestler. He's in a show called Heels, and then he was also in him and his brother Robbie Amell have a movie on Netflix too. But like he's most known for Green Arrow. Oh no, and he's in New Girl because that's where you and Lynn saw him. Yeah.
I mean, we could have asked the new girl questions, though his lines weren't that long, so
Yeah, I know. I kind of oh, Stephen Amell. I already figured like I already knew what I was like. I've asked him things before, but I low key regret not asking my question for Colton Haynes,
Oh
which
yeah, yeah.
was the panel after. But yeah, no. Yeah, Stephen Amell was next. No,
Yeah,
no, no. We
it went Matt
Matt
Smith,
Smith.
Stephen Amell. Oh no, was it Stephen
No,
Amell?
no, it went Colton Haynes because Colton Haynes. When we went in there, because like right after we left Colton Haynes' panel, we went right into Stephen Amell's, and it was like we sat in the same spot for
Oh
Stephen
yeah,
Amell's
yeah, yeah.
panel.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so okay, so
And
Colton
then
Haynes was next, and he was only there Saturday too. He was confirmed as a guest like not even a week before the event. He's known as he's known for Jackson and in Teen Wolf on MTV, and also as Roy Harper and CW's Green Arrow, which is who he played the sidekick next to Stephen Amell. That was my first time ever seeing him in person. I've always wanted to meet him because of Teen Wolf and the Teen Wolf cast, but because Matt Smith was there. Matt Smith was the priority. So we went to the panel. It was not as full. I thought it would be a little bit more full, but then I thought the panel was okay. A lot of younger attendees were asking the questions, so that's why we kind of just like left a little bit early. I really like that he the way how he spoke was like a lot different from how he acts. Just like Matt Smith, like because in Teen Wolf he's such a douchebag in Teen Wolf, and then and
could have fooled me. I didn't get
yeah,
any douchey vibes at all from him.
yeah,
So.
exactly. And Arrow, he's very like he's tough. He's Roy Harper, so he's very tough. So just to see him act like he's very mellow and just very he was very very nice to all the people who asked him questions.
I think that's what I liked about him the most is that the questions that people were asking, he went in depth with it. Like he
Yeah,
told his feelings, and he told what he was thinking, or whatever it was. He was very in depth with it, and I love people who are like that. They just like respect the time and effort and the questions that people ask them, and they're willing to give them like deep dive into what's going on in their head and everything like that. So he was very same with him and Matt Smith. Like they were very fan. All the guests that we saw were very friendly fan interactions, and it was great too. So
yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about Colton Haynes' panel besides like just his fan interaction because mostly it was just about him playing Roy Harper and Jackson because of the Teen Wolf movies coming out too. So, I think he said in January that's when it's gonna drop on Paramount Plus. So,
I mean,
I
I just
hope.
remember him saying something like "Don't get me fired" or
Yeah,
this is being
he couldn't
recorded.
say too much because like
People are
I know.
asking, they're prying, man. They're
Yeah,
prying
people
about
were
this stuff.
prying for like spoilers or like who are you gonna work with? Because he did tease a little bit like the character for Jackson works with characters on the show that he never got to meet. So it's just like fans were trying to put two and two together, but then I like that he was smart enough to just kind of like go around the bushes
Yeah, like, you guys are
with
trying to
his
get me
answers.
killed or something. Like,
Yeah,
or whoever, they're watching or hearing this right now, guys. Come on.
yeah. I thought was funny was his story, like his stories on the set where he would prank the other actors.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so I thought that
those
was
are
pretty
pretty
funny.
good.
He made memes out of his co-stars and like it went viral on Twitter. So I thought that was pretty funny because he made a meme of Tyler Hoechlin, who is now the TV Superman for Superman and
Oh
Lois.
yeah. I remember
Yeah,
him talking
so
about that.
yeah, so that was pretty funny. But then yeah, we stayed for like a few fan questions and we left for Stephen Amell's. Stephen Amell's line was a little bit longer, but I mean, I thought his panel was gonna be packed because it's Arrow, man. Like I thought there'd be
Yeah.
more,
I thought
but
it at least fill up like the first one, but I mean, it was just still pretty decent. But like, you mean you had a lot of space, so I guess it was a good thing for people like us who just love our space.
I just it was funny just because we sat in the same three seats that we did with the Colton Haynes panel.
Call Haynes one, yeah.
So like it was it Lynn? I was like, why couldn't we just stay here?
Hey,
Like,
yeah. But then again, like I said, we didn't know how busy it was gonna be. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like everything was played by ear. So I mean, we expected the Matt Smith one to be like really packed, but we didn't know how everybody else was gonna go. So
yeah. But Stephen Amell's was I mean, I've been to his panels and I've met him several times already. I thought I thought it was gonna be a little bit different, but it wasn't as different as the ones I've experienced. But what was your thoughts on it since this was your first Stephen Amell panel?
it was cool. I mean, everything that everybody kept asking, I wouldn't say he got annoyed of, but you can tell there was questions that have been always asked. Like they kept asking him, like, "Oh, do you want to play any other DC characters?"
Oh yeah,
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 and then he's all like, "Oh man," or what was it that he said? Bruce Wayne, I think it was. But then
yeah.
like
He wants to play
he's all
Batman.
Batman or something like that, and everything like that. But you can tell that people have already asked him that questions, and he's kind of, I don't want to say annoyed of it, but like he's
It's
already answered
repetitive for him.
repetitive,
Yeah,
yeah. And so, but he even said straight up, like, dude, what I completely agree. Like he's annoyed about like how they're handling the show versus the movies. Like, why not combine it? That's what everybody wants, and so why not give everybody what they want for him to play the Arrow in the DC universe and everything like too. So, but yeah, I mean, all in all, like his panel was very good, cool too. Great fan interaction, and then on top of that, like he not even the Arrow universe. He talked about like the wrestling one. I forgot what it's called now.
Heels.
Heels. Yeah, he talked about that. I actually want to check out that show or that show.
I think it's on HBO.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good stuff about it, so
Yeah.
I need to check it out too. But yeah, but all in all, his panel was very good too. Very interesting questions, great fan interactions, and he kept it light and easy. Like it literally, like kind of like how we're just talking. He kept it like you're just a friend of his, and he's just answering your questions. So
I think one thing I like that he said was he wants to do more wrestling since he grew up with it, like
yeah,
WWE style wrestling.
yeah,
So it'd be pretty cool to see if he can work something out and like be more interactive on in that
like
kind of entertainment.
yeah, or actually do it. I think I want to correct me if I'm wrong. Did he actually do wrestling?
Yeah, he did a few events. He did a tag team with Cody Rhodes,
Cody Rhodes, yeah,
Stardust.
WWE, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. I
and
remember.
then
He said he got hurt on it too, or something.
yeah. So like I'm not a big wrestling fan. My buddy Andrew is, and he's actually like the one that showed me like, oh yeah, Stephen Amell he did wrestling and all that stuff too. But I think as we were walking out of that last panel though, like someone brought up like his thoughts on Batman. And of course, he'd want to play Bruce Wayne because he said that if there's any role that would make him come back for like comic book stuff is Batman. And my thoughts were like it'd be pretty cool to see him come back as Green Arrow for Robert Pattinson's Batman. I think that'd be a pretty cool interaction. Maybe he could be a little bit older
That would be pretty cool.
compared to
Like the older
the
Green
Robert
Arrow.
Pattinson one. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it'll match more of that theme with
'Cause
Robert
it's so
Pattinson.
dark and like
Yeah.
gritty and everything too. So yeah, for sure.
So
I can see that.
I think he would do well in that universe versus him being like with Ben
Christian
Affleck
Bale.
or yeah, you know, or like with The Rock since Black Adam's out too. Like I don't think he'd match that universe. But it's really cool just to see that Stephen Amell is still like, he's still interactive with his fans on Green Arrow stuff. Even though I'm pretty, like you said, I'm pretty sure he's been asked a bunch of times by many fans about Green Arrow and like just the CW stuff.
I remember him talking about like he's like, oh, this has got to be over. Like it's got this
Oh
has
yeah,
to be in, you know.
because he was saying he was like he even mentioned like he doesn't watch any of his season 1 stuff.
Yeah,
So like he was like, it's just the scripts kept coming, and then like by the time it's like what 8 years,
8 years.
like
Yeah,
8 years went by then, because this year is the 10-year for 10-year anniversary for Arrow, so he was on for a while, and I don't know how he would how he felt about it, but like for me, if I was an actor playing the same character over and over, I would eventually want to venture out and do something else.
I mean, he even answered that. Like he said, when someone asked him, like, "What was your favorite episode?" He said the one where he played Flash, or with him and Flash switch bodies. He's all because I
Oh
got to
yeah.
play. And so I was all like, I mean, it shows you right there, like, dude, I want to do something else besides shoot arrows and let me run fast and do whatever, you know. So it was pretty cool about hearing him that thoughts behind all that too. So I mean, playing the same character, I could see that being just exhausting too. So
Because I think that kind of limits actors to where their range is at. Because it's either like, for example, like a good one would be like Jennifer Aniston, right? Like everyone knows her from Friends as Rachel. So when you see her in a movie when she's not Rachel, it's still like Rachel-esque mannerisms
yeah,
when she's acting. So like you can't really. I think that's how a lot of actors feel like when they don't want to be just that typecast TV character.
oh
They want
yeah,
to be
for
able to
sure.
like show range for other things. Like again, we were talking about Robert Pattinson. Like he was Edward for the longest.
Yeah,
People forgot that he was in Harry Potter, and then he has like actual range as an actor.
yeah. I mean, I think he took a break after Twilight and all that too.
Yeah.
Just and he did plays or something. It kind of like I wouldn't say reset, but made people forget about ish. I mean, kind of because nobody's ever gonna forget about the Twilight series and whatnot too. But then like you're able to like kind of reset and then show your different ranges and everything like that too. I mean, as this kind of like what's her name from Big Bang Theory, Kaylee.
Oh,
Cuoco?
Kaylee
Like
Cuoco.
it's hard to not
I
see
can
her.
never pronounce her last name.
Yeah, I
But
can't
yeah, but
either.
we were watching The Flight Attendant the whole time. She's Penny.
Yeah, Penny to me, exactly, same
Yeah.
thing. So I'm just like, okay, it's hard to distinguish it and everything like that too. I mean, it's the same way with the guy who plays Sheldon too. Like, I'm
Yeah.
always going to see you as Sheldon, but he's a great actor. Like I'm saying, like everything that he's played outside of Sheldon, it was different. But like for me, it's always a trigger. Oh, you're Sheldon.
If you want to start your own podcast like Spoiler Force, then sign up with Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout has helped hundreds of thousands of users like me to begin their podcasting journey. With easy-to-use tools, you can effectively get your podcast into different platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and more. You can view your stats, create audio clips, and even have your own podcasting website. Buzzsprout offers ideas, tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you improve your podcast. Follow the link below, and once you sign up, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card. This will let Buzzsprout know that I sent you and will also support Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want a simpler way to record both video and audio for your podcast, then sign up with StreamYard. StreamYard is the perfect program to create podcasts, host live streams, and even do video calls. There are many tools that can help you create and design your own personal studio. You can screen share, read live comments, and stream to different destinations like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can also download your video and audio once you're done with your recording session. Follow the link below, and once you sign up with the basic or pro plan, you'll earn a $10 credit to use for StreamYard. Happy podcasting. So after the Stephen Amell panel, we went straight to the Matt Smith photo op. We went there early just because we didn't know how crazy. Yeah, we did go a little bit too early because Lynn slept on the floor.
Yeah. Oh man, we got there, and I think they were only doing groups 1 through 6. I think it was, or 7.
Not even. I think it was like 1 through 5.
5, yeah. And then we were like group 8, and then we're like, and then the lady was like, "You're too early." We're like, "We have nothing else to do." So
Yeah. We sat around like that area, and then like
which is a well needed rest, especially like I said, after that we literally were there like basically all day, so we were pretty exhausted. So it was a needed rest and everything like that too. But the photo op was
no good thing we got breakfast though, like before we
yeah.
actually continue, because we got like the fish and chips and we got the chicken and waffles. Oh man,
saved
good right now,
us.
too.
But no, yeah, that was my first photo op, so I've never done it before. But it was really cool. Like, I mean, it's the standing around and waiting and all definitely does suck. But I mean, the interaction with him was really cool. Yeah, it just sucks waiting in line for. I don't even know how long we waited for. Like, what, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Oh, nothing long. Compare if you want to say like when we got there, just waiting, we
Well, I
waited
mean,
a
like,
good,
I guess I mean I'm not even counting us when
just
Glenn was
standing
sleeping,
around, right?
standing in
Yeah.
that room when they took us there. I think
Oh,
that was in
so
that room.
okay.
It
So
was
when they called our group, it was already like the time to take the picture. So they were running a little bit late.
oh, okay,
So
gotcha.
because our photo op was at 5:40.
All right,
No, 4:40 or 5. Wait, no, 5:40 because
540.
yeah, it was 5:40 because 4:45 was when the arrow panel ended.
Panel was, yeah.
So it was 5:40, and then that's when we were waiting in line, and then we didn't get out till like almost 6:30.
6:30, yeah. So
Almost
I
an
mean,
hour.
I would say almost an hour. I would say that was probably the drag part of it, but the photo op was pretty cool. Like I said, the fact that they didn't have the plexiglass there and we were able to
Yeah.
like. I mean, I didn't shake his hand. Now, did you? I know you geeked out over it, so I left it to you because I know you wanted to really meet him. I did, but I did.
I
say hi
don't
to him.
think any of us shook his hand. I tried to shake his hand, but he turned around. I was like, damn it.
Oh,
I touched his jacket, so I was like, oh, good enough. No, it was really cool because aside from waiting, because when Fan Expo did their lines, you remember like it was like that huge back area,
yeah.
so like the lines you could just walk up and wait, but then because it was the lines in the Irving Convention Center, the area we were in was smaller. It was actually that floor was when we interviewed Stefan Schweitz too in that back corner.
That corner,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So they put us in a separate room, and then they waited for like all the other groups to go first, and then when there was an extra line space, that's when we went.
Yep.
So there was a lot of just standing around. But yeah, when we met Matt Smith, like I wasn't because we didn't get no notification or emails saying like he's requesting a plexiglass or anything like that. Because we had to do that. I had to do that for the Hobbits ones when I met Frodo and Pippin. But Lynn looked over and she's like, "There's no glass, Ricky. There's no plexiglass." So that's why I geeked out. I was like, "Dude, we're gonna like literally stand next to him." Like people were hugging him, people were posing with them, and then like the whole time we were waiting, like, well, how should we pose with them?
Pose, yeah.
Yeah, because like I wanted to do the Targaryen pose, like a straight up Targaryen pose, like a serious pose, and like we were just clowning on Lynn, like. You can't make a serious face. She's like, I can make a serious face. And when she tried to do it, she ended up laughing. So I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, even seeing everybody else, how he interacted with all the fans that were taking pictures, like he was like, "Hey, dude, we're friends." Like, pow, doing the gun fingers and everything. I was like, "Dude, let's do one of those." And then when we got up there, oh, we're doing the Targaryen serious pose, bro. He went like a light switch.
The picture we have, he went to
Damon in a heartbeat, and I was just looking at like, dude, like we look nothing like any. We can't play any Targaryens.
Yeah,
but he was like straight up. I'm a Targaryen. Guess what I'm gonna do to my niece? Yeah.
No, but it was the picture. I'm glad the picture turned out good. Like I thought, honestly, all of us looked great. It's just because we're standing next to him, so like, he made us like this is my thing with meeting actors or celebrities, man. Like, there's a reason why they physically look great because when they take pictures, dude, they're so good at it.
Yep. They're like, because they don't want to be there all day. Like, if they can't do it right there, guess what? They're gonna be there all night until they get it right. So they have to be on point with everything. So.
Like I was looking at my I shared an Instagram story like when I met Billy Zabka or Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai or the Karate Kid series. I look at that picture, man. Like even him, like for his age, being in his mid 50s or so, the dude looks physically great. But that's because you want to look good for your pictures, man. Like that's why when I meet these actors, dude, like when you see them, like remember how we saw Hawk from Cobra Kai at Fan Expo Dallas and how skinny he really is, versus like how he looks like on the show.
So yeah,
it's like everyone's like video and camera ready. So like that's the point I'm making with meeting Matt Smith is like this guy was he was on. Like the moment we gave our request, like, hey, let's do our Targaryen pose. Bam, he turned to Damon, and like everything, his physique, the look, the pictures that he took with us, dude. he made us all look like not even amateurs. Like we
Like
look
we
so
look like
mediocre.
exactly. We didn't look like we belonged there. Like, well, maybe he looked like he didn't belong there because we all look weird. But I mean, he was like, when you look at the picture, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have it online. Look at the
Yeah.
picture. Matt Smith looks like literally someone from House of Dragons, and we just look like people who photoshopped ourselves in there. You know what I mean?
We look
So-
like the fucking slaves in the house.
But no, I mean, it was cool. Like I said, even the fan interaction, like I felt bad because I wish we could have said something or done something cool or just for him to remember us because he was interacting with everybody. Like he even like when we were leaving, we're like, "Thank you so much." He goes, "No, thank you guys for the photo or nice to meet you guys." You know what I mean? So very cool dude. Definitely wish him nothing but the best. He's a great guy. So
But like photo ops are it's always like it's always like a shoulda woulda coulda kind of moment because
Yeah.
when we met him in person, like even Lynn geeked out. Like she doesn't even like Damon. But when she met him, she was like, "Oh my god, like you were so cool!" And
yeah,
like that rush of just like because the photo, I guess it's the photo ops too, like just like because you're in and out.
yeah.
So like when you meet him for like just a split, not even 30 seconds, like it's just so hard to like grasp that. Holy shit, I'm in like I guess I don't want to like put him on a pedestal, but like I'm in the presence of like this top tier actor, like
Yeah.
this is something that you don't do every day. So when
Yeah.
you meet this guy, it's like holy shit, you don't even know what to say. I was
Yeah.
speechless for a few seconds. I was like, I didn't even know what I wanted to tell him. Like I was like, dude, you're so awesome. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
that's why I felt bad. Like, because I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want. I knew you loved him and you wanted to talk to him and interact with him. So I would have just said like, "Hey, dude, love your work. Wish you nothing but the best. Let's get this picture. Make something. Let's make some memories. You know what I mean?" So, but I mean, it is what it is, dude. I mean, you met him, you talked to him. He's a very cool guy. So, like, I mean, definitely. It was a great experience. Thank you, Ricky, for that too. So we definitely wouldn't have been there without you. So
no, thank you and Lynn for coming with me, man. Because like honestly, it's a lot. It feels a lot better going with people like that want to go versus like going by myself. Like because when I was back in Michigan, man, like even going to these cons, I wasn't even doing press. I literally bought my own badges, bought my own photo ops, all by myself. I did everything. Like, you can see all my pictures like back in the back here.
yeah.
Like all those photo ops are by myself. Like you and Lynn are like the first group photo op I've done ever. So that's why I put it up on my wall.
Nice.
Like everything I've done is always by myself. So like it feels good to have people go with me, like especially for as a press team. Like
Yeah.
it kind of like validates the podcast a little bit more, makes us look a little bit more
Oh
professional.
no, for sure, and I think I enjoy it more too because like it gives us a purpose, in a sense, a purpose to do something. Like, while we're there, promote,
Yeah.
just get your name out there and everything like that. And I think that's what I enjoy most about it is just being able to like get you there and promote it and like, hey, break the ice of the dealers that you meet and like, hey, dude, I'm doing a podcast. I would love to get your input on things and everything like that. I think that's why I enjoy it the most too. So that's why I enjoy going with you on these cons, and then we get to meet cool actors and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But that was pretty much the con, man. Because like Sunday we had an early lunch for your graduation. So congrats on that too for your graduating.
Thank you very much.
College and all that. So anyone who's listening or watching, comment in the video or wherever you watch and congratulate Bobby for his graduation. But we're still waiting on some replies for the next couple conventions or events that's happening in the next weeks or so. I highly doubt that they respond. I mean, they know who they are. I'm not gonna put their names on blast because they know and I know who they are. I just hope that they do respond because if they don't, then we're probably, or maybe we haven't got it yet, but we might go to see Tony Baker's stand-up comedy. Like the thing is, he's not even the headliner. He's one of the openers too, but he's there with Donnell Rawlings, who was best known for his work with Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle Show. So yeah, that it's not bad. The prices aren't too bad when I looked at it. It's just where we're gonna sit. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode for the Dallas Fan Festival experience. Again, thank you to you and Lynn for coming with me and doing this stuff. And hopefully, if the Fan Expo crew, watches this and stuff as well. Thank you guys for all the support, and especially to Dana. Just being able to I don't honestly, I kind of forgot if it was her that we spoke with at the table, but she recognized us. So I think it was Dana. I'm like, there's so much that's happened. So but to Dana, I'm very appreciative of these opportunities, because hopefully, like, if we do go to another fan expo that's like out of state, like one I want to go to is like in Seattle or Chicago, then we get press passes for those and we can just go to those events. But yeah, before I do wrap things up, I have the Game of Thrones episode lined up after this one. I know we were supposed to do the Bullet Train review, and we never did it. I felt
forgot about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's on my list too. Me, hopefully Lynn wants to jump on that one, because like now it's on Blu-ray, so hopefully it's gonna be on streaming services soon. We could just rewatch it again and then talk about it.
I'm down to watch it again. It was a good movie, so
Yeah, but that was supposed to be next, but I'm putting that one on hold. So after episode 135 will be the House of the Dragon review. I'm still trying to figure out who's going to be on the show. If not, I might just go live and like do like a review like right after the show is like aired. So it's going to be a late episode, but it'll be live on Facebook, Twitch, and maybe Twitter. I've never been live on Twitter, but I have the option to do it. But then that'll be on there. And then yeah, after House of the Dragon, I'm waiting on replies. So from other people that I reach out to, so hopefully they respond. If not, then I'm probably going to do more movie reviews or TV show reviews. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, you know, we talked a lot longer than I thought we would, which is good. But yeah, this was a great turnout for a fan festival. I can't wait for the next one, and I can't wait for Fan Expo next year too. But yeah, so that's it, you guys. Thank you for watching or listening to Spoiler Force, wherever you're from, or whatever podcasting platform you use. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also share this stuff if you like it. If you have any like suggestions, criticisms, or like guest recommendations, feel free to email me or comment it in like my post or video or whatever like social media site you're on. But that's pretty much it. This is episode 134. Thank you guys, and have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give a review and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want to get all Spoiler Force updates or even peeks at behind the scenes, you can join the Spoiler Force Discord community. And if you'd like to show support, give tips, recommendations, sponsorships, or any collaborations, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com.